thinking crazy thoughts. All my dreams were lost. The apple of my eye had fallen from the sky. Yeah, times were tough, but I got back up. I had to wake up and say, enough's enough. And now I look around me from the 86th floor. I'm feeling like a superstar, came back here to score. New York City, full of my soul. New York City, everyone should go. New York City, I never want to say goodbye. New York City.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, no, we're not in New York City. We're in London, London City, big city of dreams. You know, sometimes we say, I used to do a rap many years ago, and I say, New York, big city of dreams, and everything in New York is all what it seems. That was a rap. I think it was Grandmaster Flash or so, or something like that. You know, many years ago when I was a boy, but I'm still going into a boy still as a millennial. That's why tonight we call it the Youth Connections. And I put a Z there. The Z there is so crucial because my mate said to me, you got to put something with a different essence about it. So I said Z. I could have put connections with an X, but I said Z, you know, create a different, you know, ladies and gentlemen, I tend to have this show, New Connections, and this emanated from the whole COVID, but to ensure that somehow I still give a voice or use a platform in order to let young people sort of able to speak. Not that you stop them from speaking, because they're always speaking no matter what. You know, you cannot stop that. Sometimes I listen to my children, sometimes they're talking with their mates, and it's like a different world. But what I want to do as much as possible is to get a diverse level of young persons as much as possible on the show and to let them speak and let them say, I've had a few, the young girls, and I've got also guys from Jamaica, and just going for a wide range. But tonight I'm going to have Miss Olivia Jennings, 22 years of age. She's just finished her BSc Psychology, a degree going on to a master's, and very passionate about young people as well. And she's got this awesome company which she's created called Living Luxury. But the most important thing is just hear her story as well as even during the COVID period, how she went through it and the challenges she had. And without further ado, let me just bring in Olivia Jennings. 1, 2, 3, 4. She lands. Olivia,
Good evening.
how are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm cool in the Malibu. I'm just gonna chill and just let you talk. You know, how's the day? How's the day so far?
Busy to be honest, very busy, but I wouldn't have it any other way. So I like
So you
it
like
like this.
you like to be very active as much as possible, yeah?
I do. It's a bit odd if I'm not doing something.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Now, Olivia, I just want to just go straight into this. This whole COVID period. What is it like? I mean,
Yeah.
this whole lockdown. I mean, right now, even in Jamaica now, I just saw the Prime Minister was on the news saying, "Listen, we got this election, but you know, we got some spike and 98 people there, that there, or thousands of people getting COVID." They are thinking about the
Yeah.
possibility of maybe even locking down the country again, even in the
Yeah.
midst of elections. But tell me, what is COVID to you now? Not that COVID is a good geezer, you know, it's not a good geezer. Yeah.
COVID is a very hot topic in my household, but COVID for me, it came at a time in my final year of uni, when I was doing like my dissertation and everything,
Yes.
and it was just like chaos. It was like, am I in uni? Am I not? And then it was like, oh, now I'm at home.
Yes.
So I had to finish the last part of my uni degree at home, and then my nursery that I was at, it closed. So it was literally, I'd gone from being out of the house 24/7, being at uni, being at work, going out, to just
Mm.
being at home. So it was really weird because, as I said, I like to be doing things, and it was like being at home to me, it was like relaxing.
Yes.
So it was like, it was kind of hard at first to combat like that challenge of, right, I'm at home but I still have to do work.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So COVID was a bit confusing in that sense for me. But towards the latter part, it's been like a blessing in disguise, so to speak.
Okay.
Not the actual virus itself, far from that, but what's come out from it, the fact that I've had time to do things, and it's kind of I've lost certain roots, so to speak, but
Yeah.
I've gained others, so it's been a blessing in disguise.
Okay, we're gonna come back onto the blessing in disguise. But first of all, if you can just sort of tell me a background about what you do and your studies. You're in psychology, so if you can share with
Yeah.
persons what you do, yes.
So I've just finished my psychology degree, a 3-year degree, and I'm going on to do child and adolescent psychology at Greenwich,
Hmm.
starting next month. Well, next month. Psychology is just something that I knew I wanted to do, but it was
Yes.
only, well, I think through conversations in the house, and also being at uni, I realized, okay, it really needs to be around child and adolescent. That was like my focus.
Yeah.
My mum, she works in like social services, so her focus is similar, but we have different thoughts about certain elements of the topic. But yeah, that's my uni background.
Hmm.
What was the other part of the question? Sorry.
No, just like about what is it that you do? I mean, you're in university. You did psychology, and that is your quest, but also with young people as well. One of the drive about it is to work with young people.
Yeah. So my focus. So I worked in a nursery, and I don't know if you know the program about the secret life of 3, 4, and 5-year-olds.
No.
So they basically have a secret camera in a nursery, and they look at the way in which children interact with each other. And I
Yeah.
was always like, I would watch it. I was a dedicated viewer for that show. I used to watch, and I used to be like, oh my gosh, I wonder what they're gonna do next. And I was like, okay, I need to work in a nursery. That's that's what I want to do. So that's why I did that, and it was just working in there. Although I did like the basic stuff as well, I was always thinking, okay, it helped with the paperwork element, because I was
Mm.
thinking, oh, why is that child slightly lower in that area? So in comparison to this child, and then I was getting a bit deeper, like, is it something to do with the family element of it? What could it be?
Yes.
So
The thing about it, because you're into your BSc in psychology degree,
yeah,
going on to study your masters now, but also at the
yeah,
same time, it says you're an entrepreneur.
yeah.
And how did that? I mean, you're going on to your masters and entrepreneur because the way all things are going on now, and it's like of COVID.
Mhm.
I mean, I just heard that Pizza Express laying off excess amount of jobs. Marks and Spencer, the
Mm.
darling of the UK, shutting down and laying off lots of jobs. People are now thinking differently. Some are saying, should I continue to school or should I just create business? Tell me, how did that
Yeah.
entrepreneur bit came in, especially living luxury, which is your business.
Um. So the nursery that I have, well, I was at for just under 4 years. So
Yeah,
I think at the end of March we closed, and I was on furlough, and then I was told I was going to be going back in August,
yeah.
and like a couple weeks before I was supposed to be going back, they kind of
Tell
just
me
called
how
me
did that.
and said,
Yeah, sorry, keep going. Sorry,
you won't
keep.
be coming back.
Mm.
We don't have space for you at the moment. So I was a bit like, okay, is it going to be something like I'll be going back not next month but the month after? And they were just like, no, you won't be coming back. Um,
Well,
it kind of threw me a bit, because I was like, oh, like, it was just out of my control. And I wouldn't say I'm a
yeah,
control freak, but I do like things to be. I like to plan it, so I'd like to have known,
yeah.
okay, I'm not leaving, or I am leaving. Um, and I just thought, what can I do? What all the things that I've been planning and thinking in my head, oh, okay, this is something that I want to do, but I don't really want to do it yet. I'm just going to focus on this. I thought, now's the time. Like, I have no excuse at the moment.
Mm.
And that's how it came about.
But
So living luxury and interior design and
yeah,
property development, renovations.
it's interesting. You mentioned about that. you know, I mean, you make it sound so easy. Okay, you're sacked, you're furloughed, you're not gonna come back. Okay,
Yeah.
I just create my own business. I mean, there must be more. There must be more. I mean, okay, I presume living luxury or something of that nature was bursting in your spirit before.
Yeah, yeah. It was. It was definitely. It was a hobby of mine. So I did study art for A level.
Yeah,
But the art at my school, it was more. I wouldn't say it was fine art, but it was very controlled. So I couldn't really experiment as much as I wanted to.
yes.
But I've like, not to float my own boat or toot my own horn. I don't know the saying, but I've
Blow your
always
own
really
trumpet.
had a flair for, yeah, blow my own trumpet.
Or it's
I
good to blow
wouldn't
your own
want to
trumpet. Because if you don't blow your own trumpet, nobody's gonna blow it for you. Okay, so they can
It's
blow it on
true,
my
it's
show. Yeah.
true. It's true. Um, but no, I've always had like a flair for art and design. So in terms of living luxury, it started, and I'm sure my parents could vouch for this. It started, I would be rearranging like different areas of the house, and everyone would be like, "Oh, it's moved again. This has changed." And I was like, oh, "What do you think of this?" And then a few years ago, we completely just started renovating the house, and I was like, "I'm
Yeah.
going to take this project on." And I'm sure our builders thought I was just so bossy, but I was like, no, this is exactly how I want it.
Yes.
And then I just saw it coming together, and I was like, okay, I'm just going to post some pictures of it on my Snapchat. And then everyone was just like, wow, that's so good. I want to come and see it. Are we going to do a house tour? And I was like, wow, other people are saying it as well. It's not just people in the house and the family. So I was like, oh, okay. I was like to my mum, it would be good to have an interior design or like a renovations company, but that's just something in the pipelines. I've got like a book that I just write down all my like ideas in, but don't necessarily do a lot with it. And yeah, it was just from during COVID. Of course, I've just abbreviated it or shortened it a lot. It was definitely a shock when I did lose my job. It did throw me, but it was out of my control, so there was no
Yeah.
point in me
Yeah.
dwelling over it too
I,
much.
one of the determining thing which I like to ask and to think about. I got the stage there regarding your time when you're working and the time when you
Hmm.
got furlough, which many people are having now. Many people are going through the
Hmm.
crisis now, whereby
Yeah,
they are at the age 50, 45, 50, and getting
yeah,
furloughed, and now they're at this point whereby, wow, what do I do now? As young
yeah,
people, you can sort of innovate at the same time because you're at
yeah.
that
No, I know
age,
what you
you know.
mean.
And the whole aspect of this period now, I don't know. I'm not asking about your parents, but was it the normal, typical thing is go to school, get a job, work for 40 years, get your pension, and
Yeah.
is it that something which was sort of in your sort of mindset?
Um, to be short and honest, no.
Yeah,
Um, I don't think, and I've spoken to my mum about this all the time. I don't think I can retire, like, not early, but I don't think I can retire. I don't think I will ever retire. I just think I would can shorten my hours.
yeah,
So no, I've always wanted just to be doing something. Maybe have businesses that aren't. I don't necessarily have to be present in
yeah,
all the time, but no, retire. I wouldn't say that's a plan of
yeah,
mine. I
yeah.
know it's far away, but no.
Yeah, no, no, that's interesting, and the reason why I'm asking that is that young people now, they're innovative, they create, but at the same time, there's something which, like, as black young people in the UK now, with all advent of Black Lives Matters, is, do you see? I started off the show with that song about New York, New York, and the big song we used to sing in the '80s when I used to go to school was New York, New York, big city of dreams. So therefore you can dream, dream.
Yeah,
Do you see London as a place where you can dream and aspire and reach the
yeah.
heights of, or do you see it as, oh, it's not good for black people, man, it's terrible here? How do you see? What's your outlook as a young person regarding that?
Um, I think it all depends on the individual.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say the latter, no. I think it is what you make it.
yes,
So, although there are areas that for, I think, young people and for young black people more specifically, we are suppressed and kept down,
mm,
I think we also go, oh, okay, I couldn't go into that area because, oh, there's not many Black people that do it. I'm not going to make it in that area. So we don't break
Venture.
that barrier.
Yes.
So we don't venture there. We just leave it. So of course that barrier is just going to get higher and higher, and no one's going to venture into it.
Mm.
So for me personally, I would say that London is this city is just the city of dreams. You can do what you want to.
So you're saying you can sing the song Long Done, Big City of Dreams and everything in London.
If I could sing, yes, I could definitely sing that song.
Yeah. No, I think it is important, and the essence of my show is not just to just hear what young people say. It is actually for them to leave with a level of positive energy in them, to let them know that, a lot of it has to do with mindset. A lot of it has to do
It
with
does, yeah.
your base. A lot of it, I say as well, has to do with your parents. I always say that you can go to school and you can engage a lot with your peers, and you can absorb a lot with your peers. But when you go home,
Yeah.
just like a computer, you press the refresh button, start again, whereby the parents say, no, you can do it. You can do it. And I
Yeah.
think that is crucial.
Yeah. Well, I could talk for hours on that. As per like everything I've mentioned, we have conversations on this in our household all the time, because with my mum's background, she's constantly thinking of ways that parents and families can like join together, fuse
Yes.
together, and be less separated and support each other. And
Mm.
I more think of ways in which children or young people can help themselves and how they can reach out. So I'm thinking from this way, my mum's thinking from that way. So
Yeah, yeah. I see where you're coming from, and that is so very important. But what is it like? Even though I asked that question in a different way, but coming back now, as a young woman growing up in the UK, black woman. Um,
yeah,
now it's interesting I say black woman there, because if you notice, a lot of things, a lot now is about color, very crucial at this
yeah,
time. Black Lives Matters,
yeah,
black. Kamala Harris, they're saying she's Jamaican, she's Asian, color, color, color. But yet at the same
yeah,
time, Marcus Garvey said, and Martin Luther King, they all say this: a man should
yeah,
not judge by the color of his skin, but by the content of his
yeah.
character. Do you see that there is some sort of double standard which is happening now, or is it that one has got to recognize that color is a factor, or how do one move to the point whereby you're dealing with the contents of the character, not the color of the skin? How do you perceive
I
what I just
think
said, that mumbo jumbo I just said a while ago?
I think ignoring color sort of suppresses an issue. I
Mm,
think you need to understand that not everyone is the same. We're all different,
yes,
but we need to embrace each other for our differences.
yes,
So instead of saying, "Oh, we're all the same," we're not. Um, but yeah, we're not all the same, and I think that's what people keep going with. They're like, "Oh, we all bleed the same blood." Yes, we do,
yes,
but at the end of the day, we've come through different not circumstances, but different experiences. Some people get sort of a right or pass. Some people have to go a longer route to get to
yes,
certain places,
yes,
but that shouldn't be the case. We should all be equal in that sense.
yes. So what you're
So
actually what you're actually saying, and what I'm picking up, is that we don't just think the same way.
no, oh, definitely not. We
But
definitely don't. It's a hard one because this country is built on it's sort of built on racism. Like it's just built into all the long-standing organizations, so the banks, the
mm,
businesses, and people just don't realize it. They don't realize that them getting ahead in a certain job application isn't necessarily anything to do with their abilities,
yes,
but it's to do with their skin color.
yes,
And going back to your previous question, being a young black woman, it's sort of like being black is already I don't want to say disadvantage, but
yeah,
in a sense of like a job application,
yes,
that's already a disadvantage. And then being a young person, I feel like we're all just tarred with the same brush. Like, oh, there's loads of like young people over there, and they're being really rowdy, and it's all stereotypical, because of a few that might be that way. So then fusing that together,
Yes.
it's just
So so
it's
so
a
so,
hard
th-
one.
so, so therefore, you paint a picture there, which is powerful. So what do you see then as the breaking? How do you break through that? It's got to be the base of the home to a certain. I don't want to give you the answers there, but because someone can be suppressed and depressed and just give up in a situation like,
Yeah,
I'm young, I'm black. I mean, we're talking about yesterday in the show.
yeah,
We didn't get onto it, but about black women with their hair. Sometimes it sets them back as well. So there
yeah,
everything is coming in. The name, and they
yeah.
say, oh, once they see my name, they're gonna say, she's a black woman or so, and they put the application
Mm,
to the side. That
mm.
institutional systematic racism. How do you break through that? How do you see as a way to say to young people how to actually navigate that terrain, which is here, laws, or
Well, as you said, I think families. I think it's hard because my parents always say, "Oh, I'm like a little old woman," so I've got a lot of old ways of thinking. But a lot of the parents nowadays, they are quite young, and so what they're teaching, they haven't been taught the correct
Mm,
ways initially, and then they're teaching that to their children, and then it's like it's about learning, opportunities, learning that sort of thing. Like if they it does come from I would agree with you, it does come from the families, but I think also if everyone that's of the same negative or oh, I'm not going to pursue that method because as I said, oh, I'm not going to break that barrier. If everyone's of that sort of method and they're all hanging together, then it
mm.
just grows and grows. I don't know if that makes sense, but
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying there. Yeah. So therefore, one of the key thing then, as I would say then, as with young people, because if I'm like a fly on the wall,
yeah,
and you're speaking like with your mates, as I was
yeah,
saying earlier, that young people have this different world. I mean, I'm like that because I'm in that young people zone as well as a millennial. We're all talking differently, and all the programs asking, what are they saying? What is the sort of conversation, in light of the Black Lives Matters, COVID? What is that level of conversation? Is it empowering? Is it
um
encouraging, or is it like doom and gloom sometimes?
I think it really depends on that. Well, I personally, and I think a lot of young people might say this, I have different friend groups.
Mm,
So I've got friends from uni, I might have friends from my old work, I might have friends from when I was a lot younger. So their take on it and the conversations that we would have on these topics, or if we even do, are very different. So
yes,
you'd find that my friends from uni, their conversations would be a lot more about why aren't we given certain opportunities? What
yes,
can we do to better ourselves? How can we talk up about that? Uh, Friends from work, we'd talk more about, okay, but that person in work, they did the same thing as me,
yeah,
but I'm being tarnished or what's the word? I'm taking the blame for something. So the conversation's very different.
yeah,
Um, and that's why it's important to have the right people around you, because
yeah.
if you don't, then you don't have these kind of thought-provoking conversations.
Yes. So therefore, it's the right network around you, which is crucial at the same time. Because
Yeah,
as I said, you go into the school, you have different persons from different backgrounds, and if you're not careful and very strong, you could end up going along their ways,
yeah,
and not actually have your level of self confidence as much as possible.
yeah, yeah. I think I can be quite strong and opinionated, and I'm quite a grounded person.
Hmm.
So for me personally, and the majority of the people around me, they're quite similar in that sense. Despite the fact that they're from different like circles or different groups.
There's this saying. And as I told you that I didn't have any scripts or anything, and we're just gonna go with the flow. Even though I've got a program which says don't go with the flow, but I don't go with the flow until I'm in my flow. So I don't go with the flow, so I'm in my flow. And I said to you, I'm not gonna give you any questions, but I want to just go with this particular flow. Um,
Yeah.
you know the aspect of young people as well, whereby we talk about if you want to see change, you've got
Yeah.
to be the change. We see politics around us now. We can see America. Let's forget about America. And you see, what's your take on people engaging in politics? Or maybe it's always a Babylon system. Don't get involved with that. What's your take on
Um,
politics?
Politics for me personally, I don't know. I wouldn't say I don't know a lot about it.
Yeah.
And when I say that, I mean I'm not someone that religiously looks into it. However, I vote and I do stay on top of the what I need to know.
You're a Brexiter.
Um,
You're a Brexiter. Did you vote Brexit? I'm just. You don't have to answer. You don't have to answer the money.
but no, I stay on foot. I do like to know what's going on, but I don't know um, as much as I could know
Yes.
about politics. Which I mean, there's always room for improvement. I will maybe go on and search a bit after
Yeah.
this, but yeah,
Well, you're a Jamaican background, aren't you?
I am. Yeah, my mum's side of the family.
Okay. So you have seen something happening in Jamaica, don't you?
I have. I've been watching the videos.
So why are you interested in
I've been
Jamaican
watching the
politics
videos
then? What is it about Jamaican politics that
because the
excites you?
way in which they're doing the videos, so the dub plates and all of that, I just think that's it. Just gets you. It's getting different people from different walks of life, just watching it, and especially if you know the songs that they're doing over the videos originally, and then you're seeing the difference in the lyrics. I really like it. Not that I mean, the aim is obviously to vote and to participate, but
Yeah.
I like it.
So it's interesting that you said a while ago politics. Yes, you learn about it, and it's like daunting when you speak about British politics. And I mentioned Jamaica.
Yeah.
You just light up. I mean,
British politics.
is
Uh,
it the dub plate sort of pull you in the music?
it's got more oomph to it. Don't get me wrong. I know
Yeah.
there's the corrupt side and all of that, but it's got more oomph to it. It's bringing different people together.
Yes.
Whereas politics over here, I feel like it's aimed at a certain type of person, and you have to break that narrative or break that barrier to understand it. And you have to be prepared to be trawling through a lot of information, and yeah, if you want to do that, yeah.
So okay. I'm just digging a bit more because somebody said to me the other day when we're having our night in review bits and we're having
Yeah.
our shows talking about the top news. Uh, David or Keem or Keisha, they always say, "Be careful that you speak anything against the government because they'll shut us down." And
I know.
they say they're watching us, and we always run joke, and then sometimes
They do.
I hide somebody and said, "Wow, Rishi, the finance, the chancellor just actually shut you down, David." If it's interesting what you're saying there. So if you were to advise the government as a young person,
Yeah.
and you see the politics going around, and it's so important because at the age of 18 to 22 or so, one is stepping into that mold whereby you are in a decision making mode. You're in a position where
Yeah.
you can be the change by voting and
Yeah.
by actually running as
Yeah.
an MP, councillor, mayor, and all those sort of things. What is it then
Yeah.
that you'd want to say to them to make politics a bit more engaging and not like a stiff upper lip?
Ooh,
It's
that's a
your
good
time now.
question.
Tell him they're watching. Boris is watching.
I know I have to turn off the camera. So for me, I would say make it more accessible for young people and not just young people that are into politics.
Yes.
I think at the moment, a lot of the young people that go for it, they're already into politics. Whereas the people that they need to target, because the people that are into politics will always be into politics.
Yes. Yes.
They're going to find it out in their own time. Those that aren't into politics, that's the people that you need to aim for, because yeah, like it doesn't make sense to me to target those that it's like, if I know you're going to eat, I don't need to remind you to eat. It's those that aren't going to eat that I need to go, oh, so yeah, that's, I don't know if there's a method that they could do that in school in a more engaging manner, like what they've done in Jamaica with the videos. But I just can't see Boris or anyone like that doing a video and it being serious.
Yeah.
I can just, oh gosh, that would be I can imagine it now.
Yeah, well, let's say sometimes politics is not so exciting in the UK, but exciting for those who want to actually change and be the change that they want to see. Because the, the, the,
True.
the key thing is, Olivia, is that you have some who go in there and they galvanize and they create the change that they want to see.
Yeah.
So my message all the while to young people and to everyone is that it is important that you also get in there and be the change, because if you don't do that, somebody's going to be making the changes and then you're going to be sitting and saying,
It's
where
true.
did that come from?
It is true. It's true because young people do well. I know for myself and for my friends as well. We will complain and say, "Oh, X Y Z is happening," but we didn't. When X Y Z was being spoken
Yeah.
about, we didn't go, "Oh, actually, I don't want that to happen." We didn't speak up about
Mhm.
it, and I think that's again what I was saying about the barrier. We kind of expect someone else to do it.
Yeah.
Not all young people, but a lot of us go, I don't think it's a bit of cutting and pasting, but I don't think enough enough of a spotlight is put onto young people that are doing those things. So
Yeah.
if I knew that others were, people might speak up a bit more, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You might
Yeah.
go, okay, another young person has spoken up about it. I have like a forum. Let me say something.
Yeah.
But if you don't know that, sometimes it's that fear of the unknown. You're like, oh, no one else has said that. I don't really want to speak on that. It might be a bit awkward, or I don't want to go venture into that area.
Yeah. No, that's very good, and that's very interesting because it actually shows that one is wanting to somewhat make that change and want to see that difference, and it's very important that one sees that, because if we don't see that, we're going to always um, see the government as the the anti, when at the same time always
Yeah,
that if you vote out the government, what do you
yeah.
what do you get after you vote out the government? It's not a trick
Say
question.
that again, sorry.
If they vote out the government, what do they get in response? If you
Well, well, unless we can come up with an alternative and we have our own that we can put in, technically we have nothing. But you know,
I'll give you the answer.
I feel like
Yeah. If
what is the answer? Tell me the
if,
answer.
if you vote out the government, you get the government back in.
Well, it's true though, actually, because you just get another. It's a different evil, a different form of
Yeah.
um politician, a different MP, a different prime minister. So no, that is yeah.
Yeah. Tell me about living luxury. How can people get it? Sell living luxury, because this is your business now. This you're moving
Yeah, that's my
forward.
baby.
Yeah.
So I just literally I thought after losing my job, I was like, let me create this account. There was a bit of a time delay when I was oohing and ahhing, like, oh, what are people going to think about it? But I thought, right, okay, just going to do it. And I thought, oh, how can I make a name that kind of gets my name in it, but also reflects what it's going to be? And I was like, living luxury. Ah. And the name was after going through all the names, that was the only one that was available. So I was like,
Oh, you
this is a
mean
sign.
oh you mean when you went on like for domains and all those sort of things?
Yeah, yeah, and that was the one that was available out of like 10 names that I had like thought of. So I was like,
Yeah.
this is a sign, this is the one that it should be. And then I posted it on my Instagram, and like loads of people that I knew were like, this is a brilliant idea. I knew like this is something that you should have done ages ago. And I was like,
Mm.
wow, like it was, the reception from it was really good. So I was like, okay, right, what am I going to post on it? And I was like, the first thing I should post is thing from my house,
Yes.
because that was the thing that really like showed everyone my talent in interior design. So at the moment, I've got two projects on. I've got an office and I've got a beauty room. The beauty room will be my own beauty room. So I'm currently renovating it so that because of the whole COVID thing, I know for me personally, it was a complete like mayhem when I couldn't get my nails done, I couldn't get my toes done, and then people couldn't do it because they were doing it in their own house and they didn't want
Yes.
people to go in. So I was like, okay, let me renovate a beauty room so that people that are currently working at home, they can go and work there, rent a chair for like on a weekly basis or on a monthly basis, so that they can take that risk out of their house.
Yes, yes.
So I'm doing that, and I think I will be documenting and recording the progress of them because people seem to love the before and afters.
Yes.
So I'll be doing the progress of that, and yeah, take it as it comes. I think I will eventually start doing consultations and then expand even further with that with this business. Oh, you love the name.
And then she loves the name and stuff like that. And so for the purpose of Instagram is to make that awareness, and what you see, you're documenting the journey as well.
Yeah. So it is only on Instagram at the moment.
Yes.
But I plan to expand it, and I think I'll probably have a website. I haven't created that at the moment yet, sorry. But yeah, Instagram's just been the focus of it because there's some like pages like called Fat Studios and stuff like that, and they post loads of renovations, and that's the
so the
there's
Instagram,
like a whole
so the Instagram name is at Living Luxury.
yeah, that's the Instagram name.
Okay. So therefore, ladies and gentlemen, let me just do something here for the purpose. So therefore, that's the at, and you put an at before it, yes? Is that the right spelling?
Living Luxury. Yeah,
Is that
that's
it?
the right spelling.
Is that it?
That's it.
Bingo.
Yeah.
So therefore, ladies and gentlemen, you can join and live in luxury. And so therefore, it's about luxury people. It's not for poor people, rich people.
Well, I think the whole skill of renovation and interior design is working towards a budget, because the office I'm doing at the moment, the budget for that is like way less than what I planned for the beauty shop. So
Yes.
it's been a bit more difficult because I want marble there and this, that, and the other. But it's like working with other people's ideas as well to kind of shape that and my recommendations to try and pull it all together.
And how do you blend that now with going on for your masters? Is the masters going to start this year or?
It is. It's starting next month. So I haven't had my timetable yet, but I've always been working and being at uni.
Yeah.
So the days that I would have been at work previously, I'll work for Living Luxury and around, because it's my baby. I don't mind doing it around the clock. And with the nature of the work, it's a lot of designing and planning. So
will the school be will the studies be virtual, or are you guys going to go in face to face?
That's a good question. I was asking my mum that. We think it might be virtual, but I'm not too sure at the moment. They haven't really said anything, so.
Okay. Well, listen, I want to thank you so much for coming on, and I'm really
thank you for having me.
I'm grateful for that. But one of the things I just want to ask you is this: if you were to address young people now and to sort of encourage and to motivate them at this time and in this season, fortunately, we have not been seeing much of any sort of crimes. You got some shoots of it there, but as young Black people in the UK and may see different challenges, what is the message that you give to them to sort of spur them on?
Given what I've learned recently, I would say that hobby or that skill that you've got and you're sort of doubting yourself, or you don't know whether to like showcase it, just do it, because there's nothing better than doing something that you like and you want to do and you know you're good at. Just go for it. Don't doubt yourself. Now is as good a time as yesterday, tomorrow, the next week. It's just go for it.
Yes.
And be proactive as well.
Yeah, go for it. And one of the things that you say is that your hobbies include cooking, arts and design, gardening, health.
Yes.
You studied art. You say you did not pursue any further with it. However, the attention for detail and flair never left. And that is what it is, isn't it? Flavor details as well.
Yeah.
And do you think, and this is something I always say, is that okay, I'm touching my early 20s, yes, at present. and and I'm a lawyer, but at the same time, I love what I'm doing now. You know, I'll finish work and I get people sometimes say, "Why am I so excited?" Because I have another life. You know, I'm
Yeah.
separate apart from my family, but I really love this. I really love just listening to people and to giving them a platform because I find people are very dynamic. I did a talk one time. I was doing called "Don't Go with the Flow" series, and I did one. I'm going to share it, Trevor, and find it before it goes. And they talk about you never know the people that are around you. This what was it? I want to play it before. I want to find it, but it talks about there's explosive dreams in people. You know, people around are walking around. They have some positive and some powerful, explosive dreams. If you ever find out about them, and the key
Yeah.
is what I love doing is finding that gem in people, which is really powerful.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and I think
It's
that
hard. I think people need to find it in themselves as well, though.
yes,
Sometimes it's easy to some of the thoughts and ideas I had. I was kind of like, oh, okay, yeah, I have that skill, but it's
yeah,
just that's just me. I wouldn't necessarily tell someone that.
yes,
Um, my mum would, but I personally I wouldn't speak about it. Because it wasn't that big a deal for me. But during lockdown, I've really reflected on it, and I've been like, it's actually not a skill that a lot of people have.
yes.
Um, which comes into the doubting yourself. But yeah,
Yeah, yeah. All right. Well, listen. Want to thank you so much. But
thank you very much.
you sort of pulled me on to find this video. So I'm gonna close out with this powerful video, which I think about a couple of years ago, and somebody keep teasing me all the while and say, look around you. There's an explosive dream which is around you. You know. But let this play. Just stay there right there. Let me just play this video.
Mhm.
Just one moment. Ladies and gentlemen, you know, sometimes you're walking down the street, and I say it is funny. You're walking down the street and you see people that you have no idea who they are. If you look around right now with me, wherever you are, you'll see people you have no idea who they are. But one thing which is profound, they are sitting on, or they have within them, explosive dreams, explosive visions. And that is funny, but also very powerful. And I find it very intriguing because, and that's one of the reasons why I always say, never underestimate any person that you see. Get to understand who they are, what they're about, because you never know explosive dreams which is in them. And guess what? And this is what is interesting. There is an explosive dream inside of you and every single person. But what we need to do is fan that flame. Use that ember and fan it into a flame, because that is powerful. So ladies and gentlemen, as I always say, don't go with the flow. There we go. That's it. And that's what I'm keep talking about. There's a gem, there's a diamond in people as much as possible.
Yeah.
And it's so crucial. You know, I want to thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you very
Olivia
much for having
Jennings.
me.
And ladies and gentlemen, you do follow Olivia Jennings at Living Luxury. And when you want to get your luxury liner and your luxury things, that's where you go to. And even though she says luxury, what she's actually doing is taking you up to a next level. So it's not about the cost; it's about the lifestyle. Am I correct? Did I sell it right?
You're more than correct.
All right. Just 10%. Just 10% of one. Just 10% of one. All right. So thank you very much, and you have
Thank
a
you
good
very
night.
much.
All the
You
best.
too. Thank you.
Take care. Bye bye. Thanks. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for coming on. And there I was with Miss Olivia Jennings. Awesome discussion. Uh, now, it's interesting, and there's much more young people that I'll be talking to over the weeks, months, years, whatever, building a movement. Sunday, Sunday is my plan to continue the whole election cycle of the election in Jamaica, which is September the 3rd will be election. We had a show last week, Sunday, and we have 2 more shows for the Jamaican election. My plan is to get the Prime Minister. Yes, I know I dream big. The 23rd, this Sunday, will be one official member of either the People's National Party or the Jamaica Labour Party. And the 30th as well, somebody from the People's National Party or someone from the Jamaica Labour Party. The manifesto for the People's National Party is out now, but the manifesto for the JLP is not out as yet. And therefore, the plan is to somewhat have a discussion on the manifesto. And so myself, Matunda Makula, and Dr. Kevin Jones, and if not, somebody else will join us, we will go through that. And the whole purpose of it is just to really be educated and to be informed from the diaspora perspective as to how the election is unfolding and what are the plans the government have for the people of Jamaica, which of course affect the people in the diaspora as well because of the close association which having. Unfortunately, if you have been following Jamaica now, there have been a rise and a spike in COVID, which is out there. People are saying it's attributed to the elections. It's interesting though that the new cases which came out as being, you test first and then the results come out after. So I guess in a week time you'll find out more if there's an increase of COVID. So it is something that they're watching, that the Prime Minister had to go on a press release today, a press conference, setting out some new measures about how they're going to undertake the politics in Jamaica. So it's a very interesting time. But as somebody set out today, is that whether you do it now or tomorrow, it is still going to be an issue with politics. Still going to be an issue because who says COVID is going to get better in the next 2 years, 3 years time? I guess we'll have to learn how to deal with it, and to apply social distance, apply to wear the mask, and how to, if you don't have to go anywhere, don't go anywhere. You don't have to go to any parties. You don't have to, just be very careful at this time. And as in the UK say, stay alert, control. Is it control the virus? Stay alert, control the virus, and save lives. So yeah, so I look to see if that's going to happen. I'm holding my breath because so far I've not had any confirmation about who the person is going to be. But I hold my breath at the same time, and I hope that I'll get someone. And if not, we just have to talk with ourselves. Okay. So good night and all the best, and peace out. Remember to like and subscribe. SYLBOURNE TV on Instagram, SYLBOURNE TV on the website, Twitter, SYLBOURNE TV, YouTube, SYLBOURNE TV as well. Okay, peace out. Have a good night. Cheers.